Hello, and welcome to the Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce's cable TV show. My name is Donna Framke, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's Chamber Spotlight Show. We have three great guests to share some information with you, so let's get started. Please join me in welcoming our first guest, Mr. Tom Ballard, from Trusted Mold Services. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
So I hear a lot about mold, don't know a whole lot about it. I'm sure you can share lots of information with me. I guess my first question is, how does somebody know if they need Trusted Mold Services?
And that's a good question. This is actually the time of the year where mold starts to come into the forefront because it is kind of seasonal, and this is something that everybody's all concerned with. Once they hear the word mold, even though it is a four-letter word, it's actually not a four-letter word like anyone would think. The key about mold is that it needs three things in order for it to grow. It needs moisture, food source, and temperature. If you take moisture out of the equation, it can't do anything, it can't grow. So there are some common places where we do have mold that's always going to be there, typically in your bathroom or down in a basement, attic, crawl space. But those are areas because there's high concentrations of moisture. So it's something that you can kind of gauge by the amount of moisture that's in the air. So that's your first sign that there's a possibility that you have the conditions that are right for mold.
Gotcha. Okay. So how does somebody know to even, I presume there's some precautionary measures you can take as a homeowner?
Yeah,
How do you know to look for it?
The primary time that we find out about mold is typically during real estate transactions.
Oh.
Most homes have mold probably up in the attic because people don't go up in the attic.
Right.
And attics have altogether different world and different conditions that are up there. So typically an inspector will go up there and he'll find it. Even though that's not breathing space, you don't really know that you have it in your home.
Okay.
But again, in the spring, well, here's how mold works. See, God's got the perfect plan for mold, and it's awesome outside. Its purpose is to decompose things that are dead. So when we eat our food, we digest in our body. Mold eats and digests outside its body. So essentially when you see mold, what you're seeing is its residue. But the mold spores are digging into whatever the food source is, which is porous. And with the combination of the moisture and the right temperature, that's what feeds it, because it's a living organism, and it's active, and it's doing its thing. So when people see that, then they kind of freak out. And essentially what they'll do is they may go and get bleach or they may go get something else.
Right.
and wipe it off. But all you've done is just removed the stain with just what's on the surface. You haven't gone in and removed the mold that's digging into the pore. And as long as there's moisture, that's going to keep it active. So, mold's been around for a long time. It's in the Bible. Leviticus 13, verse 46.
Really?
Yes. I'm also considered the minister of mold because in the Bible, what had happened was when you had mold, you'd have to bring it to a priest, and they would have to determine what it was and how bad it was and everything else. So it's been around for over 2,000 years. And like I said, its purpose outside is where it's supposed to be. But we create conditions in our homes where it can grow, especially when you open up your windows in the spring, all the mold and everything that's all outside comes inside. And if you have damp conditions that are inside, then it can grow. But typically it's too dry inside. It's really not going to do it. Unless, again, you go into a place like a crawl space or a basement. A lot of people are like, well, I smell it down in my basement. Well, because your basement's damp. That's why you need a dehumidifier down there to take that moisture out of the air.
So when you smell a musty smell, is that indicative of that you've got
absolutely.
Potentially?
When you think about it, when you get up in the morning on a spring day or a summer day, after it's been damp and the dew and everything's all, and you go outside, what's the thing that you smell? You smell mold. Tom Skilling actually has a report all the time. He talks about the content of mold that's outside and the levels. So we would get a lot of calls for people coming in there saying, well, I'm getting sick, or I think that I'm not feeling well. I think I have mold in the house. Well, first of all, if you have your air conditioning run, you're conditioning the air, and the air is probably pretty dry in there. So the chances of you having mold are pretty remote. But again, if Tom just told you that the moisture levels and the mold levels were high outside, and you were outside and you weren't getting sick, then I think that you're going to be fine. Everything's all going to be good. Now, on the other side of the coin, there are people who have different types of allergies and are allergic to different types of molds. The most common being penicillium. Penicillium is where we get penicillin, but there are people who are allergic to that.
I see.
So, and it's something, the spores and everything, which are airborne, is what we breathe. And once it gets into our system, they're more like asthmatic type of symptoms that we get.
I see. So you're saying you really can't make you sick? I mean, if you already have it?
Yeah, and again, it depends on where we're at. I mean, our immune systems should be able to take care of it. Like I said, you should be able to go outside with a high mold count and not get sick because your immune system. But older people, their immune systems are starting to break down. Younger people, their immune systems are starting to be developed.
Okay.
And plus, over the years, we've been breaking down our immune systems by trying to clean everything. I mean, all these hand sanitizers and everything else that you've got are taking away our abilities to pick up something and be able to have that immunity towards some of the different bacteria that we have in the air. I mean, in the old days, you could jump into Lake Michigan and swim around and you wouldn't get sick. Now, these other people go in there and you come out and you get sick
because you don't have the immunity anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I get you. So, is there any way that a homeowner can prevent it? Is there anything that they should be doing, or?
Well, like I said, the three things are moisture, food source, and temperature. So the key is.
But you can't
moisture.
you can't prevent having moisture in your bathroom or whatever. And you're saying that.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, when you go in there and you take a shower, a lot of people don't run the fan. You really should run the fan.
Oh, so simple things like that.
Yeah, the fan will take that moisture out of the air. Whole house humidifiers. Not a good idea to have them on because they're pumping moisture into your home.
Oh, is that right?
And it doesn't equalize the rooms that it's pumping the moisture into. So in a shower or in a laundry room, and there's already going to be moisture, there's moisture being put in there. So you're adding more moisture to it. So then that creates more of the opportunity for mold for it to grow.
Gotcha. Okay.
So those would be hot spots.
I see.
So it's not a good idea to be running a whole house humidifier. Okay. Then that also creates a atmosphere where, again, you smell this musty type of smell,
right.
and you start to get sick and watery eyes, and that's another key. A lot of people think that this is something that you breathe. So it actually, a lot of bacteria and a lot of things that are airborne actually go in through your eyes. As you sit there and blink,
why you get the watery eyes.
These are pads. These are like sponges. Every time you blink, you create a surface where all kinds of bacteria can go right into our head. So people can hold their breath, but they're wondering why they're still getting sick. It's because it's going through your eyes.
I see.
So
okay.
You're probably better off wearing goggles when you're out mowing the lawn or doing things outside than
Good
you
tip.
are wearing a mask.
I see. So tell me, if somebody does need your services, what can they expect? Like, what is a typical remediation process?
Well, it starts out with a phone call, and we ask questions. Obviously, the first thing that we're looking for is trying to discover what the source of the moisture is. Was it a cracked foundation? Did you have a flooded basement? In an attic, we already kind of have an idea. Everybody should go up in their attic and kind of look to make sure that the bathrooms are being vented out, and that the vents are actually connected to going out, that they're not going into the soffits, and the soffits do have airflow that are coming up through them, that the ridge vents and everything are all clear, that they don't have animals that have gotten in there. We're going to, again, the first thing is I come in there and I'm looking for moisture. What is the source of the moisture? We have meters and other different ways. I'm humanly capable of just feeling moisture when I walk into a room.
Really? Just because of the work you do and
yeah,
you're just used to it?
Well, I don't know, genetics, I guess.
Ah, okay.
Being able to come in and I can kind of get an idea. And again, we're looking around. There's all kinds of triggers that we look for. It actually starts walking up the driveway if I'm walking into a home. I can kind of get an idea where there may be moisture, whether it's in your basement because of gutters and things like that. So once we go and determine all of that, then we determine what the treatment has to be. If it's surface mold, then it's something that maybe you could take care of on your own. You can just go and we'll suggest that. That's where the trusted comes in. We're a faith-based company that wants to walk you through the process, because we know that you're already afraid when you probably called. And there are other companies that are going to come in there and they're going to probably tell you or try to scare you by saying that there is going to be some sort of genocide and you have to move out. There are instances where the cases are a little bit bigger than that, but 9 times out of 10, I mean, it's something that can be taken care of without having to spend a lot of money.
Well, thank you. It's fascinating. I know there's so much to this. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it today. We appreciate it, and see you next time.
Thanks.
Please join me in welcoming our next guest, Ms. Lisa Barker from the Ingalls Development Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome. We're so glad you're here. So I'm not very familiar with the foundation. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, I'll tell you what I've learned in the last 4 months, because I started at the end of November. But the foundation has been around almost 60 years.
Okay.
60 years. And in that time, they've done a lot of different things. One of the major things they started this annual benefit show, which was to raise money for scholarships for the employees. But it has evolved beyond just scholarships, because now we are just recently we spent money to renovate our hospice unit. We relocated it and put it in a place within the hospital that will be more accessible, more comfortable for families as they're going through that transition. We've also able to purchase some equipment. I've learned a lot about retina disease. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I must admit I don't.
I actually had to look it up so I could see what it was about. But we were able to purchase this Zest microscope, because what Irwin Retina does, they help prevent, through their retina research, help prevent blindness, because you get these spots and then you can't see. And it was various things like that the foundation does that's above and beyond employee scholarships. So along with that, we're working to advance our research in patient care, enhancing that. We're also strengthening communities, which is part of our mission to help improve the health of the Chicago Southland communities that we serve.
There you go.
And we're also working toward, more research and innovative treatments, like our integrative medicine program, which is awesome. It's very awesome. And I know a lot of people can say, yes, my hospital has awesome programs and things of that nature. But I was sitting in a board meeting, and one of the doctors who's working in oncology with the integrative medicine piece, he spoke and he told us some of the things that come out of integrating some of the holistic care and oils. It's a series of other things alongside your treatment that help increase your chance of remission or, cure.
A healthy outcome.
Yes,
Right.
Increase a great outcome. Because what I also learned, which people may not know, is that Ingles Memorial Hospital is the only primary comprehensive cancer care hospital in the south suburbs.
Oh.
And a lot of people don't know that. So I was impressed with that.
What does that mean, the primary?
Well, what it means is when we say that Ingles is the sole comprehensive cancer care hospital in the south suburbs, that it has passed 34 criteria that were set by the American College of Surgical Physicians. And only 80 hospitals in the nation has this designation. And Ingles is one of 2 in the state of Illinois, only 2 having given the gold level designation as a comprehensive cancer care hospital.
And so then you have this foundation that does all these wonderful things for the hospital. How do people donate to it and get involved with it? And what kind of things does the foundation do to raise money? Curious to know.
There are 3 things that the foundation does to raise money. And the first one I'm going to tell you about is this. Whoa.
Ooh, a gala.
Yes. And what's different about this gala from all the other galas that are out there are two things. One is the Tinley Park, right? We're part of, Tinley
yes,
Park,
Tinley Chamber.
South Suburbs. And the second thing is we have Smokey Robinson.
Wow.
So
that's
along
pretty cool.
with the cocktail receptions and dinner and program and the auctions and everything that goes along with a major fundraising event, our entertainment this year is Smokey Robinson.
Wow.
And
that's
when
really cool.
we contacted him, he's been a performer with us before, about 9 years ago.
Okay.
But when we contacted him this year, he said, I want to bring my full show. So he's bringing everything, the kit and caboodle.
Wow. So you're getting dinner, drinks, and a fantastic show, huh?
Right.
And when is the gala going to be?
The gala is Saturday, June 1st
Okay,
at the
coming
Tinley
up.
Park Convention Center. And tickets, we have 2 price points for tickets. One is $125, and you receive reception for 1 hour with hors d'oeuvres and a 1 hour open bar in the show. And then for $450, you have the same thing, the open bar reception, but then you get to have a delicious dinner, prepared by the chef over at the Tinley Park Convention Center.
Which is very good.
And and the program and all the other things that, go along with being on that ticket level.
Wow, very nice. And so you've been doing this for several years, this gala, it sounds like, huh?
Well, the
He was doing it
gala
9
will
years ago.
celebrate 50 years
Wow, really?
in 2022. This is the 47th annual benefit show that the foundation has had. So I guess 10 years into having a foundation, they decided to craft this show and develop this
And it's
show
been around that
to
long.
support the employees. Yes,
Very nice.
it has been.
So what else does the gala or the foundation do as far as?
Okay, the other event that we have two months later, almost exactly, is our Ingles Open golf outing over at Olympia Fields Country Club.
Okay.
And that is to benefit the retina research and all the things that go along with that.
Specific
and supporting,
to that.
Right,
Okay.
retina.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then in October, we have our fashion reveal, and that's out at the Odyssey Country Club.
Oh, another nice place. Wow.
Very
great.
nice. So those are our 3 major things
What a
we
great
do.
thing that foundation is. It is a great thing. So how did you get into this line of work? Tell me a little bit about your background and how you ended up doing this.
Well, I was born and raised in Chicago. However, I went off to college, as many of us do. I met someone, got married, lived in South Florida for several years, and then returned to Chicago a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So while I was in South Florida, I was a development officer. So I just brought that up here, as we moved.
All that
and
skill set,
once
huh?
I was ready to get back into the workforce, and Ingles was looking for someone to help manage their special events. So it was a great marriage. A great
So your role with them is special event manager?
Manager of special events.
There you go. And so this is everything you're doing. Huh?
Yes, this
Keeps you busy
and,
all year long, huh?
A piece of marketing over here, because of course you can't not just manage an event. You have to figure out promotional strategies and how you're going to get the word out. How are you going to get people to embrace
Sure.
it and embrace the foundation as a
Of course.
viable charitable organization.
All right. Well,
So yeah.
the promotion side of it, as well as the keeping the event fresh, I'm sure.
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
helps when you're able to pull in such interesting talent like Smokey Robinson now.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
They've-
Well, as we wrap up, is there anything you want to share with our public so that they can maybe get some information or
Well, one thing I want to say to our public is call the foundation if you're interested in coming to see Smokey Robinson or just supporting the Ingalls Development Foundation. Give me a call at 708-915-6153. That's 708-915-6153. Or you can visit us at www.ingles.org/foundation. That's www.ingles.org/foundation. We hope to see you on June 1st.
Fantastic. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. It's great information. So glad you came to share it with us.
Thank you.
Our final guest today is Pam Neitzel from Trouvaille Med Spa, a new med spa in Tinley Park.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So my first question has to be, I saw the sign going up, but Trouvaille, what does that mean?
Trouvaille was an interesting name that we found that actually in French means a beautiful find by chance. To me, it seemed like the perfect name for what we were trying to create.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
So it's a new med spa. I know enough about spas, but what is the difference between a typical spa that I'm familiar with and a med spa?
Sure. So back when I first got in the industry, nearly 20 years ago, you would go to get the services that I perform, which are the medical grade aesthetic services like Botox and fillers. You'd have to go to a doctor's office where it's not just as pleasant as when you go to a regular day spa and you just feel more comfortable and it's beautiful. And so we're kind of brought together medical and spa all in one, if that kind of helps answer that question.
Sure, okay. So what kind of services would I see if I walked into Trouvaille Med Spa?
So I actually was one of the first med spas that opened in the southwest suburbs. I'm founder of Southwest Laser and Med Spa, and also in Florida of all places, Naples Laser and Med Spa, which now we've converted names to Trouvaille there as well. But anyway, the services that we do when I first got in the industry, completely different than what I do now.
Is that right?
So when I first started, it was laser procedures, all the injectables, the Botox and the fillers, which I still perform those. But we also have so much more now at Trouvaille. We offer the state-of-the-art lasers, which we've reduced pain and downtime, of course. And we are the first blowout bar in the southwest suburbs. And a lot of people don't know what that is either.
I don't know what that is. What is a blowout bar?
So a blowout bar in Naperville in Chicago, a lot of people know what that is. Basically, you go in, if you remember the old days when our grandparents and our moms would go and get a roller set.
Sure, with
style.
the big
yeah, and it would
your
last forever. Well, this is a more modern version for us professional women that want to have a professional look all the time and it to last for 3 days. And so that's what they do. They use a good product line in it's called Dry Blowout Bar, and now it's a full service salon as well, which I can also explain more of the services they do there as well.
Tell me real quick though about this blowout bar. So does it matter if you have long hair, short hair, anything? I mean, you can just go in, they'll do whatever style you want.
Absolutely.
And it lasts,
they've got some styles they're perfecting that are different. They're kind of bringing back some of the old styles that we remember, even like from the 20s, and modernizing them to do. So we've got a really great team there in the Dry Blowout Bar.
Very cool idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a keeper.
Yeah.
So you were starting to say about the other services or products that you...
Oh, yeah. So we do, if I can do a visual walkthrough, because that'll help me.
Sure,
we
please
are
do.
a 4,500 square foot med spa. So we offer a lot and more than anyone else offers at this point. So I decided at the spas I've had in the past, I've always had a boutique where you just buy product, you bring it in and you sell it. Well, I decided to be a little bit different this time. I went with some local vendors. How ironic, I ran into two sisters that had opened their own jewelry line called I'm True, T-R-U.
There you go.
And I'm like, hey, we were a match made in heaven.
Right.
But they have bent metal jewelry in our boutique, and it's just beautiful jewelry, and it's priced just right for people. And then we also have a local bee farmer from Frankfurt. Both of the vendors I go with right now are both from Frankfurt. The bee farmer, we have bath soaks, we have some facial products. We also have my favorite, the body scrubs and the body butters, and it just is great products, and it's all from bee pollen. So our staff is hoping to have a visit to his bee farm this summer.
Oh, there you go. So that's more natural.
It is all natural,
Very
yes,
nice.
absolutely.
Very
And
nice.
we do have our professional line as well. And we also have just started our own Trouvaille with the phonetical spelling skincare line and eyelash grower as well. So we have a lot of things we keep adding.
So you do lashes there as well.
We do lash extensions, but this is a lash grower. And this one's a more natural. We do sell Latisse, which is a professional prescription product to grow your lashes, but we have our own line that also grows your lashes. It's a more natural botanical ingredients to grow your lashes as well. We also have our own Trouvaille cleansers, toners, sunscreen, skin treatments, you name it. So when I'm thinking about the boutique area, that's pretty much what you will see in that area.
That sounds great.
We also have, when I think about all of our aesthetic treatments, we have chemical peels, we have the newest hydrofacial, and something that's very new here from Italy is something called the Vivace. Vivace is microneedling. Microneedling, some people know, some people don't.
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is, but I'm a little afraid of needles, so I'm curious to know what that's. Is it painful?
It's not bad at all. It's nothing we do is completely painless. If you
No
want
pain,
results,
no gain, right?
exactly,
I've been around,
exactly.
I know that one.
But this is actually 36 gold needles. They never dull, and it delivers radio frequency under the skin. So it's something very unique to help with texture, tone, clarity, and lifting of the skin. Which, as we age, we want things up,
Always.
not down.
Definitely.
So this does a great job. But it doesn't only just do face. We can do pretty much anywhere where you feel like you've got skin laxity going on, like neck, décolleté, arms, abdomen,
Really?
knees, anywhere you can think of that has some laxity going on. We've gotten such great results with the Vivace treatment.
Is it a one treatment thing, or is it something you
It's
do multiple
usually a
times?
series,
Okay.
3 to 5, and then after that you're just doing maintenance like anything else, like once a year to do the
Gotcha.
maintenance and keep it up.
Oh, that's interesting.
But we do the lash extensions, as we said. We have massages, deep tissue. Swedish, and our massage therapist is phenomenal. She's getting great reviews. Along that way, we've also got, holy cow, we got ultrasonic facials, which is a 3-step cleanup. It does microcurrent for tightening of the skin. You get a nice 2-week response to it. So if you have a wedding coming up or something like that, it's great.
Very
You're
cool.
going to have a nice look and glow for that wedding. Something we've also been starting to initiate are some of our membership programs to make it easy on the client, to make it brainless,
Oh.
that you walk in and sometimes can be very intimidating to know what to do.
Well, that's what my next question was actually going to be. How would you, is there somebody there who can kind of guide you through evaluating what you need? And
Yep, so when I think about the aesthetics again, we do have something that's called our Healthy Skincare Club, and it gets you in the eyes of the esthetician once a month. You come in, you get a treatment, it's $99 to join once a month, and it's a 3-month minimum. You come in and there's a list of things that you get to choose from for that $99. And that list, they typically on a regular basis would start at $125. So you're already getting a
getting a
savings.
savings there.
Absolutely. And we've also put in there with the Healthy Skincare Club that they can swap it out. If there's 1 month they just want a Swedish massage instead, they can swap it out and get that as well. And as a member, they will always get 10% off any other service or product the whole time that they're a member. So they don't even have to think about
All
the
those
full
products
price of
you were talking
anything.
about.
Yeah.
Wow, that
So-
actually sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you get started in this business?
Oh my gosh. I was a cardiac nurse for many years.
Really?
And I started going through the aging process. I married, my husband's just a couple years younger than me, but of course it affects a woman. And so I started getting, the chemical peels and then skincare and started doing things for myself. And I really loved how it made me feel and how it just changed my attitude for the day or that
so
evening
right.
going out. And I wanted to start doing that for others. And if there's anything I can say about what I do, there's nothing more gratifying than
I'll bet.
putting a bounce in a woman's step. And men are on the increase in the industry too.
Is that right? You do see some male clients there, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
In our medical suite, again, we haven't even finished everything we do
Oh,
yet.
sorry.
So in our medical suite, we have Dr. Lowry, who's been studying bioidentical hormone replacement for over 20 years. He's been ahead of his time, understanding what that can do, keeping us younger from within inside and putting us in heart protection mode, brain protection mode, protecting our bones as we get older so we don't have the decline of life, we actually have quality of life through the aging process. It's been amazing what he's been able to do. We did a lunch and learn on the bioidenticals, and we actually had a live testimonial of a woman that stood up and basically broke out in tears on how happy it's changed her life, it's changed her marriage, it's changed how she's felt from within. And that's not
great.
even anything I've done to her. So.
Before you got to her. Well, thank you so much. This has been great information.
My
I'm
pleasure.
so excited to stop in there and check
Yeah,
out your
please do.
med spa. Very excited. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.